Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati and the Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa visited the Rafah crossing to oversee the humanitarian aid entry. The Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati, accompanied by the Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa, visited the Rafah border crossing to inspect ongoing operations facilitating the delivery of humanitarian and relief aid into Gaza. This marks the Palestinian Prime Minister's first visit to the crossing, highlighting Egypt's continuous efforts to support the humanitarian response and mitigate the consequences of the ongoing Israeli military assault on the Gaza Strip. The Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati has reaffirmed Egypt's support for the Palestinians at the Rafah crossing. Speaking at a press conference at the Rafah border crossing alongside the Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa, the Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati said their visit follows directives from President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in solidarity with the Palestinians in Gaza. He emphasized that the Palestinian cause is just and that 80 years of injustice must end. Abdelati added that restoring Palestinian rights is the essential for regional stability and reaffirmed Egypt's continued support for its Palestinian brothers. Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa has praised Egypt's aid efforts, blames Israel for the Gaza delays. And Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa confirmed that efforts to deliver the humanitarian aid to Gaza are clear and tangible. Speaking at the Rafah border crossing, he praised Egypt's significant role under President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, both through official channels and civil society, including the Egyptian Red Crescent and the private sector. Mustafa stressed that the obstacle to aid entry is not Egypt, but the Israeli occupation, which controls the openings of 5 other crossings and deliberately keeps them closed, holding Israel fully responsible for the worsening humanitarian situation. The Jordanian Foreign Ministry has condemned Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's incursion into the occupied West Bank and his rejection of a Palestinian state, calling it a flagrant violation of international law. Spokesman Ambassador Soufiane Al-Qouda stressed that Israel has no sovereignty over Palestinian land, and warned that settlement expansion fuels violence and instability. Jordan urged the international community to act and protect the Palestinians and support their right to an independent state. The Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati and the Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa have inspected the Gaza aid in Arish. And the Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati and the Palestinian Prime Minister Mohammed Mustafa inspected the food supply and aid preparation center run by the Egyptian Red Crescent in Arish. The officials reviewed the packing of dry meals, hot meals, and bread, which are prepared on site for delivery to residents of the Gaza Strip. And the visit highlights Egypt's continued efforts to support the humanitarian relief for Gaza. And Egypt says it has delivered nearly 70% of the humanitarian aid to Gaza since October 2023, and officials stress aid levels remain far below urgent needs. And the Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdelati highlighted the country's major role in supporting Gaza, contributing to the majority of aid since the start of the Israeli assault last year. And he stressed that the number of trucks entering is far too limited to meet the daily needs. Abdelati called for a massive increase in humanitarian support to prevent further suffering in the densely populated Strip. Israel's Channel 12 has reported that the Army Chief of Staff, Eyal Zamir, revealed plans to evacuate the Gaza City residents within 2 months ahead of a wider military operation. Zamir reportedly said the military will encourage residents to leave towards so-called humanitarian areas before surrounding, entering and occupying the city. The report comes as Israel holds discussions with several countries, including Indonesia, Uganda, South Sudan, Somaliland and Libya, about accepting displaced Palestinians. The remarks have fueled concerns that Israel is moving towards mass displacement amid warnings of famine and worsening conditions in Gaza.